Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all, we have something very important to discuss today. Before we get started, you guys, please go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you want to. It's okay if you don't. And y'all, don't forget to leave me a comment and make sure you share this video, okay? It's so important. We got to share this video and we have to get this information out to people, okay? So another black man has been harassed and the ones responsible still walks free. This young black man name is William McNeil Jr. This isn't just a story about one life. It's about a system that shields the guilty and silences the truth. Today, we are pulling back the curtains on police brutality, corruption, and the abuse of power in America because William and so many others deserves justice and we refuse to be silent anymore. Okay? This is it, y'all. We got to pull it together. Enough is enough. Police brutality has to stop, okay? Let's go ahead and get into the video. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
This is inclement.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
77, 35. I'm proper dog driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle. 25 seconds. For the 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it.
Call your supervisor.
Yep.
Commonwealth.
25 seconds. If anybody responding, come in from Commonwealth, block the vehicle, please. Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. My camera's on too. I've already told you. Okay. Okay. Right now you're under arrest for resisting. You understand? You're under arrest for resisting. The longer you take us on, the worse it's going to be. Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. Okay. Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window.
Well, we're conducting a traffic stop right now. You need to comply.
No, he's under arrest.
Hey, I'll lock the car. I'm going to push it up.
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Can you unlock the door and step out? I will. Can you step out? You're being done. If there's a traffic stop being conducted, you're required to comply.
Vehicle's locked in.
Yes.
He's locked it up. He's putting the window down.
Correct.
Try to talk to.
Huh? Okay. So what did he ask for when he I guess, talked?
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's still a legitimate
and then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Hey,
Can you call your supervisor?
Huh?
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle! Show me your hands.
Here.
1033 at 16.1 hours.
Here. What is your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Step out now. All right. Get on the ground.
Don't touch me.
Get on the ground.
Put your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back! What's wrong with you?
What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was on.
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking.
What's going on, man?
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No.
Yes, bro. Yes.
That's a lawful reason, bro. You look from a phone like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
That's not how it works.
When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that shit.
So your partner didn't even act.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yes, it is.
So why close the door if you see him pull up?
Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, but I didn't do
Oh,
nothing
no
wrong.
resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong. Can you back me up to the car so I can clean up? You a bunch of my shit, bro.
You start rescue. 1067. Approximately 30-year-old Bravo Mine. Laceration of that.
I did.
Thank you.
I know. You should put some goes on though.
No.
Oh, yeah. What's your name? Musician?
You good? Yeah, you or him? Okay.
Well, okay, let's get ready to go on.
Right?
Okay.
And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like,
Okay.
there's multiple people headlights off,
Okay,
first of
that's
all.
still a
And
legitimate
then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law
Yeah,
up?
when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor?
Huh?
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
1033 at 16.1 hours.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now. All right. Get on the ground.
Don't.
Get on the ground.
Stop fighting.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
I was putting my hands behind my back.
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking.
fucking tooth and shit, bro. I was doing, bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No, bro.
Yes, bro.
You
Yes.
have a lawful reason, bro.
Big knife center in here, too.
You look from a phone like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
That's not how it works.
Too late.
It ain't gonna too late.
When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that shit.
Sir, your partner didn't even act.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yes, it is.
So why close the door if you see him pull up?
Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong, sir. Can you back me up to the car so I can clean up?
Shut up.
You busting my shit, bro.
Young man, William McNeil Jr., that took place in Jacksonville, Florida. That video has spread like wildfire all across social media. The Jacksonville folks there, law enforcement there, they've launched an investigation into what happened there. Joining us right now is Harry Daniels. He represents McNeil. What the hell here? I'm confused. So when you hear him on the video, first of all, before I even get to that, the cops always give one story, then the video tells another story. So they do a report saying they claim they saw a weapon, a knife. But in the video, they tell him to put his hands up. He puts his hands up. He asks for a supervisor, and they proceed to bust the windshield. So what was the logic behind this? They were saying that he didn't have his headlights on in this kind of weather. Was it storming? Was it cloudy? Was it raining? Was it a hurricane?
Yeah. Thanks, Roller, for having me on.
Other reason watching this, it just makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. And I'm just going, and we talk about this over and over and over again. It's always a basic traffic stop that all of a sudden goes haywire.
Man, we've seen it over and over. We've seen seatbelt violations in Jackson.
Sheriff's Office, we are aware of a video circulating on social media showing a traffic stop represented to be from February 19, 2025. We have launched an internal investigation into it and the circumstances surrounding this incident. We hold our officers to the highest standards and are committed to thoroughly determining exactly what occurred. So why?
That's not true. That statement's not true. They don't hold anybody to standards in Jacksonville. I've got plenty of cases they whitewashed it, covered up. They don't hold any particular standards. TK Waters, African-American sheriff. Yeah, he's black.
Oh, there's a black sheriff in Jacksonville. It also jumps out. This was 5 months ago. Why is it coming out now?
Well, the video came out. They were aware of it. Oh, he said he had, listen, Mark, roll it. He punted it. He said,
Talked, roll it.
And from our McNeil was arrested for resisting.
All right, so, okay, I listened to all of that. Now, one of the things that he says, Harry, is that, they didn't do anything criminal. Well, did they violate department policy? I mean, everything doesn't rise to criminal. And then to sit here and say, well, you really can't tell just by this particular video. Okay, fine, explain to us then.
that's real sad.
The body cam footage. This is from First Coast News here. So he says, well, we need to have the proper context. This is one of the officers getting out of the car. All right, so let's go ahead and play this. Already there's an officer on the scene. This other officer comes up, and then he says, oh, you're resisting. Well, we know from his body cam, from his footage, that he wasn't resisting. He was talking to them the whole time. Now,
You can't resist an unlawful arrest.
Now, this officer is sitting here. I mean, he's talking to him. Both are having a conversation. Then all of a sudden, from this body cam footage we see here, he basically gives them the order, okay, y'all go ahead and bust the window. Well, we know from your client's video, he simply requested to talk to a supervisor. So was this guy here, the angle we see, was he a supervisor?
No, he wasn't. It was not. They refused to bring the supervisor to the scene.
So then we see the pulling up. So if I roll a video,
there's about 5 or 6 police cars that came out there.
Wow.
Complete waste of resources for a black man that didn't have his headlights on during the day. And it shows what people have been saying for years, that these unwarranted police plus pretextual stops that lead into these black men and people being shot and killed by the police, and they try to whitewash it and try to create this own narrative that XYZ was happening, none of it was happening. Roland, they got caught. They didn't know the video was running. And when they found out the video was running, you see at the end of the video, the officer reaches and turns it off. Yeah, they got caught. And it's time for them to get caught, because it's time for accountability. The Jacksonville Sheriff Office and the city of Jacksonville need a complete makeover. And we plan on to do everything we can do to give them that makeover.
And I think this is the body cam footage. Just saw that. No. Stay it on here. I noticed nowhere on those 2 body cam videos did I ever hear somebody mention knife.
They didn't know his knife was there. They didn't know that. They didn't see a knife. After the fact, when they searched the vehicle, when they got him in, placed him in handcuffs.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Ooh, this one probably gonna make some people mad, and I don't really care. Jacksonville, Florida. William McNeil. You know, as much as I'm sick of seeing this constitutionalist and these my right to travel crap, this dude was calm. Those two piece of shit deputies that put their hands on him, and I'm referring to the coward, not the one that broke his window, the one that punched him in the face after the window was broke. You're a coward. When they pulled him out of the car and the other deputy punched him in the face, he's a coward. Y'all are pieces of shit. I don't give a damn who it pisses off in Jacksonville, Florida. You had zero right to punch him because he's annoying. As much as all of us are sick of this, let me crack the window bullshit, it's my right to travel bullshit, what you did, punching him through the hole in the window when he was not a threat, makes you a coward. Punching him in the face while 3 other deputies hold him makes you a fucking coward. Zero give a shit about the macho, arrogant bullshit that Florida's trying to put on their sheriff's department. Cool. Crackheads breaking in your house, handle it. Somebody trying to steal your car, handling it. They got warrants, chase them down. Punching somebody that is not a threat to an officer is cowardice. And those 2 officers are pieces of shit. So is the ones that stood by, watched it happen, and didn't say nothing. The people of Florida are to be pissed. Like, I get being over the bullshit. That's assault. The state's attorney general are to file charges on both of those officers, take their pensions, their badges, whatever, and put them in jail. We going backwards as a society. Look, I'm sick of the bullshit, but people still have common decency not to just beat somebody. You're telling me if my kid gets on my nerves, I can just punch him in the face? It's not how that works.
Now, I probably found the same things that other people found down there in the state of Florida on this. They do say that the officers down there are not required to have to relay the message to their supervisor down there in the state of Florida. But it does say that the police need a valid reason to be able to pull over the vehicle, whether there's a traffic violation or some type of suspicion of a crime. Now, the officer didn't say that the man was under a suspicion of a crime, but he did say that he didn't have his headlights on and he needed his headlights due to the weather out there. And as I showed people in prior videos, the officer that pulled him over about the headlights didn't even have his own headlights on. So therefore, that officer knew that the weather was not that bad, that you needed headlights, and it was not dark enough that you needed headlights, because otherwise he would have been using his headlights as well, as the other officers that arrived to the scene were not using their headlights either. Should you have a valid license when you're driving a vehicle? Absolutely. But even if you're driving a vehicle without a valid license, the police officer still needs a valid reason of a traffic violation and or a suspicion of a crime to be able to stop you. What I'm saying is, people cannot look over the wrong of the officer to get to the wrong of that young man. Absolutely, if I was that young man, I wouldn't have closed my door and I would have gave over my driver's license, and then I would have asked for the supervisor at the same time. But that does not negate the fact that that officer stopped him just to mess with him, as well as that doesn't negate the fact that that other officer should have never struck him in his face, as well as they should have never beat on him after they done had him on that ground. Many of people are consistently scream, follow the law, follow the law, follow the law, but won't scream that the police need to follow the law, follow the law, follow the law. It clearly states that the police need to have a traffic violation and or a suspicion of a crime is being committed and or is about to be committed in order to stop that vehicle. Even from watching from the body cam and seeing this house back there, you can tell that if you were on a straightaway road without houses and everything in front of you to block, you will be able to see over 1,000 feet. And down in Florida, they mentioned that you must be able to see 1,000 feet down there ahead of you in Florida, and or headlights are needed. You can clearly tell that you are going to be able to see over 1,000 feet ahead of you, which means headlights shouldn't have been needed, and that's why that officer wasn't using his. People even go as far as to try to give the police extra excuses for the things that they are doing by saying, oh, the officer probably ran those plates and saying that his license was suspended. Let me tell you something. I've had a long suspended license and been pulled over many a time for suspended license. And if you are pulled over for suspended license of the plates, they're going to tell you, hey, I ran these plates and it says that the license is suspended for such and such, and I need to make sure that you're not that person. They would never run your plate, see that the license is suspended, and then make up something else and say that it's the headlights. And like I said, that seatbelt was only brought up because that officer knew he didn't have a valid reason to stop this car. And then while he seen that young man parked without a seatbelt, which is not illegal, he tried to use that to say that he was driving without the seatbelt, but there's no proof that he was driving without a seatbelt whatsoever at all, because you can't see through those tinted windows while he was driving, including the officer didn't have his headlights on. So without your headlights on and weather that you say you need headlights, how are you going to be able to see that seatbelt? To me, should the young man have closed his door? Absolutely not. But I don't know how that young man felt about his safety, so I can't say, hey, if you felt unsafe, don't close your door and lock yourself in. If you felt unsafe, that's what I would have did if I felt unsafe. A lot of people know how to put themselves in the officer's shoes, but failing to put themselves in the shoes of the young man, that's not fair. Absolutely, I didn't put myself in the officer's shoes many a times, and what I always come back with is, he shouldn't have been pulling that young man over because he didn't have no suspicion of crime or think that that young man was up to anything criminal, and also, he wasn't even using his own headlights. And if I'm not using my headlights figuring I can see just fine, I'm not going to say that somebody else can't see fine as if this badge is giving me Superman eyes. People are absolutely correct. There should have never been body cam footage, because that police officer never had a valid reason to stop that car in the first place. Should that young man have been driving? Probably not. But it's not about him driving. It's about the officer needs a valid reason to be able to stop him. So what I'm saying is, you can't jump over the wrong of the officer to get to the wrong of the young man. You have to pay attention to the wrong of the officer at the same time. Because if you pay attention to the wrong of the officer making the initial stop, everything else gets thrown out. Because it never should have been to the point where this officer was asking him for his driver's license in the first place. Yes, if you feel like an officer is wrongfully pulling you over, I would personally want you to cooperate, and I would cooperate myself, and I would also ask for a supervisor, and I would stay calm, and I would stay respectful, and I would let the situation play out the way that it plays out, and as long as nobody's putting their hands on me and harming me, everything is good. And once they give me my ticket, if they give me a ticket and let me be on my way, then I'm going to fight that in court and fight it as hard as I need to fight it. But I also understand standing up for yourself, standing up for your rights, and standing up for what you believe in. And if you feel like somebody is doing wrong by you, I don't feel like you should just roll over and allow them to fuck you and then fight it after. So if somebody feels like they're being done wrong, who am I to tell them not to fight that wrong and when to fight that wrong? And I definitely believe in that not everything is worth fighting for, that you have to pick and choose your battles. But at the end of the day, in this situation, it don't defeat the fact that the officer should have never stopped that car, and it doesn't defeat the fact that that officer should have never struck that young man and they should have never beat on that young man. Getting him out the car is one thing. Beating on him is another.
Appreciate your time. Let's go ahead and start with why your client decided to release this video now.
Thanks, Kara, for having us on. Mr. McNeil released his video now because he has the support from his attorney team, myself and Mr. Crump, and his family. This was a very traumatic situation for him. He was very afraid. As you can see, he was calling for a supervisor because he was very confused as to why he was being pulled over for not having headlights on during the day. The Florida law says that if it's rain, smoke, or fog, you should drive around with headlights. Neither of those elements were presented, and he wanted to know why he was being pulled over. And obviously, you saw what happened next. He was his window was shattered. He was punched in the face, pulled out the car, struck again, and he was beaten while he was on the ground. So this was a very horrible video to watch. And, Mr. McNeil suffered tremendously as a result of these officers' rogue conduct.
So, Harry, a couple questions that we haven't been able to answer, and hopefully you can add some clarity here. When did he start? When did he decide that he needed to start rolling video? What happened prior to where we see that recording begin? Can you give us any context?
Right, so when he was initially pulled up, so he was initially stopped. He notified the officer that he opened his door and notified the officer that his front windows, passenger and driver's side windows, were broke, and they wouldn't roll down. He actually rolled down his back passenger window, and he was speaking with the other officer. Just before then, he knew the situation began to escalate because one, they was telling him that they pulled him over for not having his lights on, and he wanted to speak to a supervisor, and they would not comply. So he figured he needed to start recording this incident just in case something happened. I don't believe the officers on scene knew that he was actually recording. If you continue to watch the video after the incident, after the beating, one of the officers, they actually grabbed their phone and turned it off. So I don't know if they knew that it was actually being recorded, but they were in fact recorded, and it was depicted on camera what happened.
Got it. So a police officer actually came into the car and turned the recording off?
Turn the recording off. That's a violation of his First Amendment right in the first place. He had no reason to go in the car, no reason to touch the camera at all. So that is a key factor in the show, that the willingness of the Jacksonville Sheriff Office to cover up. And I echoed over and over against Jacksonville Sheriff Office dealing with their and how they treat their citizens down there. And particularly, Jacksonville is allowed to investigate themselves. There's no outside third-party investigator to come in to investigate them, and they continue to have misconduct, unlawful use of force, because they're allowed to investigate themselves. And the sheriff just recently made a statement in July that he's investigating. Well, the officers had body cameras on. They never mentioned in their report about any use of force, about punching Mr. McNeil at all. They completely omitted that from the report. And once the video became public, then and only then that some type of investigation proceeded.
Well, and clearly we see the window bashed in. We see your client being struck. He was punched in the face. That's very obvious on the video. Curious, why didn't he just get out of the car?
He was afraid. He was afraid.
Okay.
In this environment, policing in America, especially young men of color, are very afraid of police. He was afraid even before, during, and after the incident. He's very afraid. But more importantly, a lot of people question why he just didn't get out of the car. He felt like it was a barrier because he had these individuals whose sworn officers was there to protect him, was harassing him and telling him he's something's happened that he know was not against the law, and he didn't do anything. So he was very afraid, and you can obviously see the result. This officer broke his window and just punched him in his face. Mr. McNeil suffered very significant injury. We have pictures, we have evidence of injury. He had to get, he has permanent injury as related to this incident. He has memory loss, closed head injury. So this is not just a one-off of just being punched and swept under the rug. This is very significant impact, Mr. McNeil, and we have to seek justice and legal redress, and not just a civil action, but pursue criminal matters against these officers.
So are you telling us your client is planning on filing a lawsuit then against the sheriff's office?
Here, let me be clear. We are planning to do everything we can do to secure justice in the matter, from a lawsuit to a civil complaint, federally. We are seeking all options to ensure accountability. This has gone on too long here in the state of Florida, especially Duval County, where the Jacksonville Sheriff Office is completely unhinged. It's time for a change. So whatever it looks like, we're going to pursue it and ensure that we get justice for Mr. McNeil.
Got it. And I see your client was charged with resisting arrest without violence, among some other charges. What do you make of the deputy's claim that your client reached down to grab a large knife, Harry?
They tell you they have no credibility because we watched the video and that did not happen. That's the narrative they gave. That's the lie they gave. We're not going to sugarcoat it for them. They lied. They omitted and they lied. And that alone, as an officer of the law that's sworn to protect and tell the truth, you should be fired for just not even getting to the beating, the unlawful use of force. You should be fired for making a false report, and nothing has happened as of yet to these officers.
Did your client even have a knife in the car?
I don't know if he had a knife in the car at all. And it's not a law. It's not against the law to have a knife in the car, have a weapon in the car. But what we do know is that the officer lied about him reaching for any weapon or any knife or anything. And this was a matter where we got to focus on what they did, because he didn't do anything wrong. The only person that was in control that day was Mr. McNeil. These officers were completely out of control. And one thing you don't see on the video, he was actually being held at gunpoint at the time when he was inside the vehicle before they broke his window.
We will follow the investigation for sure. Harry Daniels now telling us that indeed his client will file a lawsuit, and we will track it. Attorney Harry Daniels, thank you so much for your time.
Many times these police officers gonna get away with beating our ass. How many motherfucking times they gonna get away with dragging us out the car, putting beats and hands on us? And we can't do nothing but put our hands up. We can't fight back or nothing. They gonna tow old boy ass off the bone. Then you see one black guy, you fat motherfucker. I'm sick of this shit, man. Cause I fucking know how I feel to be harassed and I will never know, man. How many times these police officers gonna get away with beating our ass? How many motherfucking times they gonna get away with dragging us out the car, putting beats and hands on us? And we can't do nothing but put our hands up. We can't fight back or nothing. They gonna tow old boy ass off the bone. Then you see one black guy, you fat motherfucker. I'm sick of this shit, man. Cause I fucking know how I feel to be harassed and I will never know, man.